Daniel, he's got the toughness, he's got the no bullshit factor about him, but there's just no personality to him. I mean, crying out loud, Judi Dench has way more personality and charisma as M. But then again, this is Dame Judi Dench. She practically has charisma coursing through her veins because she's just that damn good. Craig is just like, dude, get off the set. Let your understudy do this. He's probably more talented than you.
Yeah, let your stunt double do the work, man.
Yeah, in terms of the Bond movies, he's Randy Blandy.
Yes!
Oh, now I'm just picturing Randy Orton coming out onto the Titantron with the Bond music. Hello, the name is Orton. Randy Orton, licensed to RKO.
And then you see Daniel Bryan spear him to the ground, going, "No, no, no!"
Then there was one time where Dean Malenko was called the James Bond of the WWE. I don't know why. I mean, he had the yeah, it did happen.
Yeah, I remember that whole womanizer motif he had going on for a while, and then he just kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, that angle, no, that wouldn't fly today, especially with what's been going on. Ugh. Oh, Oni, it's just gone, Orton, licensed to line. I know what he's talking about. There was a moment the night after WrestleMania 29 where him and Sheamus are cutting promos in the ring, and Orton forgot his lines, and the camera was actually able to pick up when Orton wasn't holding the mic to his face, goes, Sheamus, what's my line? And I'm like, really, dude? It's like you have to do this on camera.
Dude, what the hell?
This is a big problem that WWE has these days. The product is so micromanaged to the point where the direction the characters are given, it's too scripted. They need to just have maybe just bullet points to go with so that the wrestlers can then work out for themselves what to say, and then that way it feels a little bit more natural and organic. Because can you imagine what it's like trying to memorize the lines off by heart within such a short time frame? I mean, with movies, it's a little bit different because apparently one of the things that Anthony Hopkins does to memorize his lines, he will read it 200 times to the point that it's ingrained in his memory, so that he doesn't even have to think about it. But because the script changes so many times with the WWE, I mean, apparently for SummerSlam 2013, I'm sure Oni will vouch for me on this, they were doing rewrites throughout the night. They're so unorganized. And that, to me, when I heard that, I'm like, this just screams WCW at me, because there would be one particular evening where they were about 20 minutes before going live on TNT, and Gene Okerlund goes to Bischoff, what are we doing for tonight? He goes, leave me alone, I haven't figured it out yet. And it was 20 minutes, and they hadn't had a runtime sheet to go through. And that is just when things are just so poorly managed. And I feel like WWE is heading down that same pathway once more, purely because they just don't have a clue what they're doing. And as Oni pointed out a few weeks back, there was one evening where even the production staff are complaining about Vince McMahon in his booking decisions, because he keeps changing things so frequently that the man just doesn't know what he's doing anymore. I mean, as a talent, he knows what he's doing. He's still got this great larger-than-life Mr. McMahon presence that sends fear down people's spines. He's still got that. But as a a bookie, a writer, a creative, call it what you will. The man's past it. He cannot go anymore. I mean, there comes a time where you get to a point where you have to retire because you just either just don't have the creativity, burnt out, or you just lose so much focus of what you're doing. And as I've said so many times before, age has got nothing to do with it, because you look at someone like Stan Lee, a man in his 90s, and he is so in touch with the audience that he's created. He actually asks them, you know, feed for me, what would you like to see more of from your industry? And he actually then gives them the ability to do that. Vince McMahon does not do that. I mean, this is a guy who thought the XFL was a clever idea. Look how well that turned out.
Not gonna lie, there were some matches that were guilty pleasure in that, but it all in all was kind of a shit show.
I like how they kind of roasted that. Was the night after Vengeance 2006, where Triple H and Shawn Michaels come out impersonating Vince and Shane McMahon, respectively. And it goes, it's more embarrassing than the XFL. Ooh, that hit a nerve. But unless we forget the World Bodybuilding Federation. Just for context, Kaiju, you're better off not knowing.
All right, then.
Considering he had one talent named, and I'm not making this up, Gary Strotum.
The hell?
Okay.
Yeah, he actually had a bodybuilder competitor with said name. I'm like,
Well, to be fair, this is coming from the man who thought suffer and succotash was a freaking slang term.
I like how Roman Reigns actually winks at the camera to say to the audience, yes, I know how this is stupid as well. So at least he's able to look at it and think, yeah, this is dumb.
What were you gonna say next? Like, what were you gonna say next? Uh-oh, you stole my Scooby snacks.
Don't give them ideas.
Done.
Oh, I like to give them ideas, but I like to give them good ideas. You know, things that will actually help the product, not ones that will make it go down to TNA levels.
Fair enough. I'm just conveying that they'll listen to the bad ideas.
Yeah.